we're gonna start with the warm-up question for you guys, and the warm-up question is actually going to be the same warm-up question that I gave to the main squad. Given the three endings, the three choices that Shepard made, and if you want indoctrination theory to be one of them, we're welcome to make that one of them if you want to. In character, which one of the world states, the galaxy states, based on the choices that Shepard makes at the end of Mass Effect 3, which one of those states do you believe your character would prefer to live in, and why?
I'll go first, because actually I was doing so much lore studying this morning in work, and I studied all the endings, thinking this question was going to pop up anyway. I think Lynn would prefer the synthesis ending, because it would be most beneficial to the Quarians. Because it implies that it would be better for their health. So I think he would pick that one for the benefit of his people.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I can go next if no one else wants to. Darren wouldn't really like any of the options very much. But basically, by ruling others out, he'd pick the red option where they wipe out all synthetics. Just because that's sort of the safest option, you know what's happening with that. The blue option, that's giving someone too much power. And the green option, you don't really know what's going to happen with that, since obviously it's never happened before. So, yeah, I'd go with the red option.
Okay.
And I'll go.
Go ahead, E.
Chen would want to choose the red option if she has not been given any proof that the Reaper can be negotiated with. So if in story that she has never heard like anecdotes or personal experience with situations where either the Geth or the Reaper allowed her or allowed someone to change their mind about attacking, then she would side with organics. The problem is how valuable she sees the Quarian race.
Do you know what that? Do you know? Have you figured out or decided how she feels about the Quarian race, or are you still?
I don't know how
that?
many of them are in your story. If Lun is the only one left, or there are more.
I understand. Okay. We'll probably revisit that later then. Maybe even today. Okay. And Dark, what of the endings do you think Aya would prefer?
She'd probably prefer the red ending because there's no proof that any of the other two actually would work in the first place. Because like, how do you know that Shepard is able to control the Reaper side, or how do you know that by Shepard jumping into a giant laser beam will become the enabler of rewriting the DNA of the entire universe? So
right.
Logically, to me, I cannot see how any of the other two endings would ever work. So either the destroy ending or shoot the ghost baby in the face ending.
Okay. I think, and that's a valid choice as well. Is shooting the ghost child or whatever, the crucible thing in the face is definitely an option. So, okay. The Bravo Squad storyline is going to begin a bit differently from the main squad. However, I am still going to ask all of you to roll initiative. Let's get your origin stories kicked off, shall we? Darren, starting with you. It is approximately sometime within a year after the Reapers began attacking the galaxy. Okay?
Okay.
It's a year within attacking the galaxy. You're aware of Shepard and all of his forces, all of the galaxy trying to band together to try to stop this threat. there's been major losses. The Citadel, which is where you have been living on currently, was affected by some sort of a coup, maybe a few months ago, which caused much of the Citadel itself to be overrun with Cerberus forces. That wasn't particularly fun.
No, I can imagine.
You'll get a phone call in your flat or wherever it is that you're staying in the Citadel.
Okay. Well, I'll answer the phone then.
It's an old friend of yours. The voice on the other end, Charles Reese.
Okay.
An old friend of yours. How long would you say it's been since you've spoken? Probably not for a very long time. I'm guessing.
You said the Reapers attacked a year ago. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think you've made in contact with each other at least since the Reapers have started attacking.
Yeah, at least not much, and probably not like recently. Yeah, it's probably been in a few months at least.
Okay. The voice on the other end says, "D, so you're still alive? How about that? I was half expecting not to even get an answer from you."
I think we both know how hard I am to kill. It's not for want of people trying.
Yeah, well, with all the Reapers out there, they're just gonna keep trying.
So, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I was just going to say I don't imagine this is just a social call.
Yeah, not quite. Look, I have to be very careful about this. We're actually trying to jam the signal so that outside people can't hear what's going on. I sort of have a little bit of a proposal for you, and because you and I are friends, I thought it would be appropriate to invite you along with this plan that I've been hatching up. A contingency plan of sorts, if things don't go as planned with the Reaper attacks.
Okay, what's the plan then?
Me and a bunch of other people, we're a bit skeptical with what's going on with Shepard and everyone else. Things are just not looking really good, and for all we know, everything will be fine within the next month or two. But you need to come here. I'll send you the coordinates. We have a way that we might be able to have a plan B of sorts in case their efforts fail.
Okay, well, it's never been a bad idea to have a backup plan.
While you're still on the phone, there's a knock on the door.
One moment, someone's at the door. And I'll go answer
Okay.
the door.
You go and answer the door. This is Tracy Arnett, your sister.
Okay.
Tracy has been living in another apartment on the Citadel, and when you open the door, she says, "Oh, Darren, I didn't realize you're on the phone," and she stopped talking, and just lets herself in.
Okay. My sister's here, I tell Charles.
Well, bring her along too. Might as well just keep it all in the family as much as possible. Family is pretty much all we've got nowadays.
Yeah, let's be honest, I would have brought her along anyway. Hey.
He says, "All right, I'll be sending those coordinates to you. See you soon, my friend," and hangs up. Trissy, by the way, is about a year younger than you, and she gets up onto the couch, and she sits up as soon as you get off the phone, and she says, "Ooh, sounds serious. Who is that? Girlfriend?"
Not quite. You remember Charles, right?
Yeah, him. Your sister has a very not so high opinion about Charles.
Yeah, that
She
seems about
says,
right.
"Yeah, him. You're not still talking to him, are you?"
No, I haven't spoken to him in months. Um,
Darren, you know how I feel about him. He wasn't he wasn't a part of the proudest moments of your life, at least in my opinion.
no, but with everything going on, I'm kind of glad to have heard from him. You know what's going on with Shep and all this stuff. He's basically got a backup plan. I'm not really sure what it is, but he's given me some coordinates, and I think we should check it out.
A backup plan.
Well,
I don't know if I trust this backup plan, especially from the likes of him. No offense.
Say what you like about him, he's pretty good at surviving. You have to give him that. If he's worried, then we probably should be too.
Well,
Look, we go along. Worst case scenario, you don't like it, we can leave.
is this backup plan like for an extended period of time? Am I supposed to just pack up all my stuff in my apartment? What am I supposed to be doing?
Well, it's a backup plan for if we lose, so I'd assume, yeah, we're probably not coming back anytime soon.
Do you believe that Shepard's not going to succeed, Darren?
Uh, let's be honest, it's a pretty extreme situation. Maybe he can win, I don't know. But honestly, I'd rather not be here to find out.
Fair enough. All right, Darren. If you really think this is important, I guess somebody has to keep an eye on you if you're hanging out with Charles again.
Make it sound like I'm not responsible.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to make it sound like. She says with a grin.
So little faith.
That's what sisters are for, she says. Especially younger ones. So she leaves and she starts to pack. Meanwhile, Rowlett. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Malik?
Rowlett.
Rowlett? Or Rowlett?
Rowlett. Yeah, I'm not.
Give me an idea of how exactly Aya's involved with the fight against the Reapers. It sounded like to me that you were going to be involved somehow. So I'm curious how you envisioned her to be involved. Like, did she join? Did she get like hired? Did she like decide to join the military somehow? How is she getting involved?
It would be something of a maybe minor involvement. She would help refugees, I think, escape from their worlds, like being hired on rescue missions, rescue things.
Being hired on rescue missions. Okay. Okay. Somewhere during your time somewhere during your time helping out with the Reaper problem, the Reaper threat, you end up befriending a Quarian by the name of Niha Sharul. You guys are taking a break in between missions. Right now, maybe you're polishing your sniper rifle. Niha Sharul is tinkering with something, and you're used to her doing this because she is very well versed. Her specialty tech-wise is in cloaking devices, and right now she seems to be tinkering with something of a cloaking device nature. While you guys are currently hanging out, I guess waiting for your next mission. If you do not say anything, go ahead.
Nee, you got that upgrade ready for me yet?
Almost ready. Just a little more tinkering here. There we go. I think this one will be the best one yet. She tosses the device to you. Give it a whirl. Let me know what you think.
So you say every time, but every time something always goes wrong.
That just helps keep you on your toes.
Indeed. Initiate.
You initiate it, and there is a slight hum And at this point, Niha tilts her head a little bit and says, it shouldn't initiate with that loud of a noise. I'm going to have to fix that. Would be would be a big problem if we're trying to be discreet. However, when it finally settles, the noise stops, and as far as you can tell, besides that, it actually works. It works. Aya, she starts because you're invisible, so she's starting to do this. Okay, how many fingers am I holding?
You
grab it. You grab a hold of her fingers.
Yeah.
So, she says, what do you think? You think that this is all going to be over soon?
Not in a million years.
Oh, so always so pessimistic, Aya. I'm just excited to hopefully go back to Ranak when this is all over, in my home world.
Yeah, I heard they freed that a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations on that.
Yes, us Quarians are supposed to be spending time celebrating and rebuilding what we had once lost, what we've once been trying to get for many years. Instead, we're out here, possibly going into our own untimely deaths. How poetic.
Indeed. But let's look at it this way. At least you get to help blow up the scourge of the evilness in this entire universe.
There is that. There is that. With that, she takes out a photograph, and it appears to be another Quarian. You may or may not ask about it, but she grows silent a little bit and sighs when she's looking at the photograph of this other Quarian.
Your boyfriend looks cute.
She snorts. Try brother.
Ah.
Quinn is his name. She says, how about you? You don't really talk about your family at all, Aya.
No. I don't.
Is there a reason why?
There is.
Oh, you're giving me that tone, she says. That's the I'm madly annoyed tone. Why are you asking me all these questions, Niha tone? Is that what I'm gathering from you?
Maybe.
Ugh. Well, she says, it's not like I care about your life story anyway. And she turns to the other side, trying to ignore you.
Come on, Niha, are you pouting again?
She says, no, it's none of my business. She says, I just think it would probably do you some good to, talk about some of the things in your mind, in your head. You're very hard to read sometimes, Aya. Very hard indeed. Normally, when I'm talking to you and you give me that look, I'm not sure whether or not you're about to give me a hug or give me a punch to the face.
I'm not sure myself either.
Well, at least we understand where we stand.
Yeah.
It is at this point that you guys get a beep, or whatever the equivalent is in the future of a beeper, and Niha picks up the signal and she answers it. Niha Sharul here. We've got another mission, Aya.
Oh, finally.
Maybe we can put your new device to good use.
If it keeps making that hum whenever I cloak, I don't think so.
Well, I'm thinking that in the heat of battle with all of the explosions, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference.
No, you're probably right. But if I die, it's on you.
Yes. We'll hope that it doesn't come to that. All right, friend. Let us continue on.
Yes.
and let's see this to the end.
Let's blow up some Reapers.
Crystal Chen, you are at your quarters. It actually is not that long after the incident in 2186 that we're talking about. Your superior actually summons you into his office. I don't remember if you gave your superior a name.
No.
Okay. For the time being, the name of your superior isn't significant currently. But anyway, he calls you into his office. And when you arrive, your superior is at his desk, and he's sort of drumming his fingers on the table. You can tell that he's a bit upset, but he's trying to hold his temper. Have a seat. He leans in. What were you thinking, Chen?
Nothing.
You placed everyone in your squad in danger from that stunt.
I'm sorry. It will never happen again.
I must say I'm very surprised, disappointed. You always struck me as the kind of person that would obey orders, especially orders that would otherwise endanger those around you, including yourself, might I add.
Yes, it was a bad judgment call.
You realize, he says, that there are a lot of people out there fighting in this war right now. One slip-up like that could cost everything.
Yes.
He sits back and says, Let me ask you this, Chen. Put yourself in my shoes. What do you think I should do with you right now?
Discharge me.
And you understand if I were to do that, why I would have to do that, correct?
Yes.
Suppose I did discharge you. What do you plan to do from this point forward, Chen? Just out of curiosity.
I haven't thought that far yet.
Your superior is rubbing his eyes, at least trying to decide what exactly he's going to end up doing with you. And then he picks up something on his desk. It looks like it's not a notepad, but an electronic tablet that they have in the game. And he's glancing at it. You can see that the pad itself is marked top secret in the back of it. I am reassigning you, Chen, he says, at a top secret location for a top secret project. They are in need of someone with your skills in medicine. And I would hope that when you go to serve them, you will not make the same mistakes there as you did here.
Yes.
Very well. I'll send you the details of your assignments shortly.
Thank you, sir.
You're dismissed.
She gets up and go.
Lun.
Yep.
Lun, you also are on the Citadel right now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you're working at the hospital, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're at the hospital, you're checking with some patients. You're probably about to go on your lunch break, and as you're passing by the main entrance, one of the main foyers of the hospital, you are shocked to see that your aunt, Voto, is at the front desk, talking with a lady there.
First direction is probably to hide behind the nearest wall.
Okay.
And kind of do like a double check.
You hide behind the wall. I think you're going to have to make a check for that.
Oh god, okay. Is that just its plain up dexterity, I think?
I think that's dexterity. There might actually be some sort of Okay,
No
so it's a 5. All right.
Oh dear, that's not going to be good, is it?
Yeah, you basically try to hide behind some sort of a plant, which isn't really, probably the best of hiding places.
No.
And
Hoping the green blends in.
the lady at the front desk points towards down the hallway, which is the hallway that would take Voto towards, I guess, your clinic or your part of the hospital where you work, and Voto takes several steps towards your direction. You're hiding behind the plant, and she walks by you, and then she starts backing up. She turns towards direction, and then she kind of slowly folds her arms as she's looking directly at the plant. Then she says, "Now that is a very interesting breed of plant that I'm not very familiar with. I believe it's poisonous in nature and might actually end up killing all of the people in this hospital. I should probably incinerate it immediately."
As soon as she says
And she's-
poison, Lynn kind of jumps out with a shriek of like, "Ah!"
Oh,
What are you doing here?
she says, "What are you doing in that suit?"
It's what I wear now?
I see. Do they not have suits that properly fit you here on the Citadel? I'm very surprised. I would think you'd be able to build your own. That
Lynn
would be a better fit.
No, this fits just fine. He's kind of like, this is so awkward right now in his head. He's like, anyway, why are you on the Citadel?
She says, "I came looking for you. I trust that you haven't gotten word. All of the Quarians are being asked to return back to the fleet. All Quarians are being asked to return back to the fleet."
Well, I don't think they counted me.
You don't think that they would allow you back in?
Not after what I did, no. Especially not
Yes.
him.
Yes, she says, "I actually agree with you, which is why I came to ask you what you wanted to do. If you do not wish to go back to the fleet, I believe we should probably make haste to go elsewhere. I don't trust the conditions here in the Citadel. It's already been attacked once, and I don't know. I feel like this place is no longer safe."
That's true, but what of Sohan? I can't leave Sohan here.
Sohan is the doctor, right? Correct?
Yeah. The Solarian doctor. Where would we go?
She says, "Anywhere but here. Somewhere where we can hide out."
He kind of gives a nod and just kind of like shuffles a bit and going, I guess I'll give her a call then. Lun kind of goes into the break room and picks up his Omni tool and starts calling Sohan.
The female Solarian answers the phone. "Dr. Sohan here."
Sohan, it's Lun. I hope I haven't
child.
interrupted you.
Yes, Lun. What can I do for you? How are the patients going on your end?
Everything's fine, it's fine. My Aunt Voto turned up. She wants us to leave the Citadel.
Leave the Citadel? Why would she want you to leave the Citadel now?
She doesn't trust what's going on. I guess everyone's nervous right now.
We're very short on staff as it is, Lun. There's so many people who have been injured.
I know.
I suppose you can do whatever it is that you wish. I can't stop you. If your aunt really believes that you should go with her, that's up to you.
couldn't you come with us too? If it's really going to be dangerous, I can't leave you here to be hurt.
Ah, she chuckles. Oh, my child, it's quite all right. But we all have to do our part in this war, and this is mine. We all know the risks, just like all of the soldiers out there. And if for whatever reason your role in all of this, your role in this fight leads you somewhere elsewhere out of the Citadel, then so be it. For me, however, I think I should stay here. This is where I am needed.
I guess so.
While I would be very disappointed in seeing you go, there is something about family that I do value as well. I think during these times it's only natural to be with the ones you are closest with, and family definitely can fall in that category.
He kind of nods and then coughs slightly before being like, well, I wish you well, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Of course, agreed. Good luck to you, Lun, and thank you very much for everything that you have helped us with here.
No, thank you for everything you've taught me.
Kila Selai.
Hira Salai.
She hangs up.
And kind of quivers a little bit, like trying to not cry, and then returns to Voto. You're like, she doesn't want to come.
Voto says, I see. I'm very sorry then, Lun. Hopefully, I am wrong.
Hopefully.
And with that, you guys make arrangements to leave. Darren, you and Trissy arrive on the planet Alchera. That is the coordinates that were given to you. Alchera's crust is composed of carbon and water ice. While low in density, its large size allows it to retain a thick atmosphere of methane and ammonia. It is believed that if Alchera had acquired a bit more mass when the Amada star formed, it would have formed the core of a second outer system gas giant. Alchera has 3 moons, Uluru, Wanjina, and Bayame. Thank you, Mass Effect Wiki. If Alchera, the planet, sounds familiar to those of you at home, it should. And if you guys don't remember the significance of Alchera, the players, you'll find out soon enough. Okay. Just out of curiosity, does any of the players know the significance of the planet Alchera?
Nope.
Okay, you'll find out. You'll find out soon. I have a thumbs up from Dark. Does that mean Dark knows? Yes, Dark knows. Okay. When your ship lands, you and Trissy emerge. Trissy has a few more luggage than you do. As she's dragging them out, she's saying, "You can never be too prepared," she says. What? I'm a girl.
Yeah. I'm not really sure that's an excuse here. You didn't have to bring everything you owned.
She says, "Not everything, just all the
Really?
necessities."
Yes, but is there anything you don't consider essential?
Yes, everything that's not packed up in my luggage.
And that is...
Well, there's you. You're not packed in my luggage.
Fair point.
She snickers a little bit as Charles approaches you. Charles has actually matured a lot, physically at least, since he last saw you. He's a little bit more muscular. There's a bit of more weather on his face, as if the man has seen a lot of what this war has brought. But his eyes still remain as resolute and confident as they ever have been. He walks over to you and he says, "D, good to see you," and he gives you a big bro hug.
Yeah, he retains the hug.
Trissy, I take it? Trissy says, Charles, she says, good to see you again. And with that, Charles takes her hand and gives it a shake. So she's looking around at the at the glacial area that you guys are kind of around and says, "This is not quite the vacation that Darren was telling me was going to be like out here." She says as she shivers a little bit.
Well, you packed everything. Just I'm sure you have something suitable for this place.
Charles says, "It's good that you guys are here. I'll show you what we've been working on here in Alchera for the last several months, and it'll start to become clear."
Okay.
He will take you onto a small Land Rover, and he will drive you just a few miles away. You reach a barren area, and without any particular noticeable features, and they stop at a certain spot. At this point, the floor underneath, the ground underneath the rover starts to slowly shake and lower as you guys are being brought down what appears to be some sort of an elevator kind of thing, and you realize that you're being brought down into some sort of underground hangar. As you guys go lower, you see that the ground underneath you seals up as the platform lowers. And when you finally reach the bottom, you emerge, and the area down here smells a little dank. You can still hear the sound of I guess blowtorches. There sounds like this whole place is still under heavy construction. And as Charles is taking you through the hallway down from where the hangar is, he says, "So, what do you think?"
Nice place you got here.
We call it
very
the
homely.
vault. We call it the vault, he says. Right now we are stocking our pantries with as much food, water, everything that we can to live for the next several years.
Huh. Well, it's good to see we're prepared at least. How long before it'll be finished?
He says, "We're almost done. Fixing the plumbing. Our power generators are all in full force. Right now, the rest of the people that are involved in this little community are making some last-minute runs for supplies and food. If we're going to be doing this, once those doors are sealed, we pretty much have to stay down here until the Reapers leave, however long that's going to be."
That's if they do leave.
And he says, "One of these days they're going to have to. There won't very much be anything left for them to destroy at some point, right?" As morbid as that sounds. Trissy looks very uncomfortable about this whole thing. "I don't know, Darren. Staying down here for an undetermined amount of time?"
What's the worst that can happen? You'll die horrifically.
He says,
Sorry.
"That's right. Darren's right, Trissy. Better than being up there." Trissy starts to get really upset. "There are people out there dying, fighting for us to be able to live on the surface, and instead you want us to just sit here and hide?"
Pretty much.
Charles says, "Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, Darren. Do you really
No.
want to do this?"
If we need the bunker, it means the people fighting for us have lost.
True.
This way at least guaranteeing some people will live. Surely that's more important. Plus, dying doesn't look like a lot of fun to me. Just gonna put that out there.
All right, you've made your point. We are very, very particular about who to tell about this. If the Reapers caught wind of this location, where we are, anything, that's why this whole area is top secret, then all our efforts will be for naught.
How are you choosing who gets in?
He says, well, since you're here, you can see that the screening process isn't that extreme.
I don't know what you mean. I am clearly a person to be treasured.
Clearly, he says. No, he says, well, it started out with my own personal friends, my family, and then from there, it was just basically based on, I guess, recommendation, so to say. My friends and family recommend their people, they recommended other people. We pretty much take it up on the honor system, basically, who people believe should be down here or not.
All right.
We tried to make sure we were able to get as many of the different races as possible. No race should be extinct under my watch. A few Krogans down here are getting a little antsy, but I think it'll be fine.
It's very noble of you.
I'm sure they'll have you to, hit around a few times. I'd like to see that, Trissy says.
I could totally take a Trogan.
Charles says, here, I'll show you around more. Aya Rowlett. You are in the heat of battle. The mission that you have been taken to has led you to, surprise, surprise, Alchera. Surprise, surprise. It is on this part of the planet that you guys were sent because there supposedly was a distress signal of some sort. And you make your way there. Luna, you guys are on a ship, not going towards the fleet, but you are making your way towards the terminus system, or at least in the direction towards the terminus systems.
Mm-hmm.
The fleet that you actually are with a few other Quarians that that Voto is also picked up along the way.
Yeah.
Although there are a few other creatures on the ship that are not Quarian.
Mm-hmm.
While you are flying by Alchera, the emergency alarm system starts going off. Everything around you starts going red, and you hear people around you panicking. As you look outside, you see a massive Reaper is moving towards your direction. Voto curses and says, "We've been found. We're never going to be able to outfly them. We have to land this thing quickly and hope for the best that we can hide." The ship starts to try to maneuver itself as quickly as possible and safely as possible to land on Alchera. Meanwhile, you hear the captain of the ship sending, or at least one of the people at the ship, sending out a distress signal that they are being attacked and that they will need to be, that they are going to be landing on Alchera and that the Reapers are on the move and to be aware.
Yeah.
Aya, you are actually hearing a recording of this exact same distress signal, and this is the distress signal that you were sent to try to save these civilians who have supposedly crash landed on Alchera. Are able to land with the Reaper moving towards your direction. Everybody evacuates from the ship, and you guys end up trying to decide whether you should scatter or stay together. people are saying if you scatter, that's going to be worse. Other people are saying they're going to get us anyway. So our only chance of survival is if we all separate and not all be in one big clump. Plus, one big clump is a lot easier to find. Do you give any input into any of this when the group is trying to discuss how they're going to escape from this?
He's more focused on keeping with Voto.
Okay.
He's half tempted to try and find a cave and actually use his dark channel to kind of hide them.
Okay.
So he's going to literally vote for, like, we should split. You know, he's going to say like the same. If we're together, it's going to end badly.
Okay.
It's easier to hide two people than everyone.
Yes.
Mm.
So the consensus across the group is that they should all split, and if they end up surviving, meet back at the ship. If they end up, surviving and meet back there. You do see that the Quarians who know each other are sticking together, but for the most part they're all dispersing. And you guys run for your lives away from the Reapers. Luna, I want you to roll for me a search check. To search for a place to hide.
That's just perception, isn't it?
Yes, perception, and I don't know if you have any skill points in search, but yes. 8. Okay. You and Voto are scrambling, looking for a place to hide. Meanwhile, you hear screams as several of the Quarians in the distance are being attacked, but by what looks like... it looks like they are Reaperized, I don't remember what the terminology is. Reaperized Volus, it looks like. Something that you're not very familiar with.
Yeah, Lynn's gonna literally be like, we need to pick up the pace, just trying to find, even if it's just like a crag, so he can literally just barrier and dark channel up to try and just add some kind of camouflage.
Okay.
And defense.
Okay.
So I guess it's another search roll, is it, or?
No. You're asking. Are you asking for Volus husks? Yes, Dark. Volus husks, basically.
Mm.
What were you asking again, Luna?
He's literally just gonna try and find, like, as I said, like either a little kind of shallow cave or a crag, just kind of.
Roll me another search.
So he's got like a defense behind him.
Yeah, roll me another search. Okay. You do manage to find some cover, and Voto and you duck down behind it. Fortunately, between those two searches, you are able to stay hidden, as many of the other citizens from the ship are being attacked. The screams sounds very horrific to you, as most of these people are not combat ready at all. They're just trying to find a place to essentially hide themselves, and unfortunately, many of them, it's from the sounds of it, did not survive. Few hours later, that's when Aya and Niha arrive at the scene. Aya and Niha, you arrive at the crash site where Lun's ship has landed, and you see that there are many footsteps, a lot of footsteps around in the snow that seem to have scattered in different directions. Ni is looking at the ship right now. I kind of doubt that anybody's still left inside.
No shit. It looks like they scattered all over like a bunch of scared mice.
All right, Sunshine, she says, what do you think we should do?
Follow the explosions?
Which you do hear in the distance. And she says, sounds like a good idea. Remember, though, our mission is to try to save as many of the civilians as possible. Get them to safety.
Yeah.
If we can get them... All right. I'm just saying, don't get too trigger happy. I know how you can get sometimes.
Yes.
I still don't think that I've forgotten about that one time when you nearly hit me square on the forehead at one time. Or was that actually on purpose?
You might never know.
Niha kind of gives you a punch on the shoulder. And she says, "Come on, stay frosty." Frosty.
She might hurt her hand a bit if she punches me on my left shoulder.
I don't think she would have punched you in your left shoulder then.
Just remember cybernetic arm.
Yes. I know. Is that your left or your right?
The left.
The left. Okay. You move towards the explosions. Roll me a search check, Dark. Oh,
Shit roll.
Exactly the same number that Lun had rolled.
And I even have a dice more. Come on.
You walk towards the explosions, and you end up seeing some movement from behind cover. Niha doesn't seem to have noticed it yet.
I take a look through my scope on my rifle.
You take a look through your scope, and it appears to be a Quarian hiding behind some sort of cover.
Okay, I will notch Niha a bit and point towards them.
Niha takes her sniper rifle and she aims it towards the direction. Ah, she says, a Quarian ship.
Yeah, but from the footsteps, it might have been more than just Quarians. But let's go get over to Niha. You go over to them, and I'll keep a lookout.
Keep an eye out just in case. And
Yeah.
she starts moving towards the Quarians. Lun, you actually start hearing footsteps coming towards you.
Through his footsteps, he's kind of literally biotic powers kind of start flaring and barrier up.
Voto takes out what appears to be a handgun. And she says, "All right, get ready." And you guys look around the corner, and you do not see any Reapers, but you do see another Quarian, cautiously walking towards you. The Quarian says, "We don't mean any harm. Not as long as you don't mean any harm either."
It's a Quarian, it's fine. Were you on the ship as well?
She says, "No. We are here because we got your signal to rescue you. I didn't expect to see very many Quarians out here. Did you not know that we were sent to the fleet months ago?" "Months ago," Voto says. "I only just received that signal just within the last couple of weeks."
Sounds like, well, we weren't going back anyway. Either way, there's bigger concerns than that. The Reaper eating people.
"Yes," she says. "We are here to rescue you. We have to go and gather more of the civilians. Do you know if there were any other survivors, and if so, which direction they went?"
I don't know if they're alive now, but people were running in all sorts of directions. I guess we're hoping in smaller groups, they would just think we all died in the crash, but I don't think many others survived.
"All right. Well, I don't think you should stay here by yourselves. You should probably at least come back with us to the ship."
Mm-hmm.
"Your name again?" "My name is Niha."
I'm Lynn.
"And I'm Voto. Pleased to meet you. I will take you back to my partner, Aya. She's not so bad for a human."
Okay.
I heard that.
She says, "Oh, this bullshit. I forgot that this thing was still on."
With that, Lun will be like, well, if you're looking for more survivors, I know decent first aid. I can possibly help.
It's at this, while you're telling this, it's just at this point that you guys have returned back to Aya. And Niha says, I don't know if that's a very good idea, throwing civilians in the middle of a fight like that. We're trained professionals. She says that a little arrogantly.
Well, I may not be brains. I may not, I may not be a soldier, but he kind of opens his hand and lets the biotics kind of flow around his fingers, being like, I can kind of defend myself.
Niha looks very shocked by this, and Voto stays silent. A biotic Quarian. Those are very rare.
It's a long story that maybe it's not best for us to go into it right now.
I don't know.
Let's bring him along anyway. He could be useful. If nothing, he can draw their fire while we take them out.
You want to put these people in the line of fire, Aya?
No, just the one that actually are able to at will summon up a huge barrier of energy that can make sure they don't get hit.
I'll try my best.
So she says, Aya, once again, it's up to a Quarian to protect you. Oh, things never seem to change. She says that with a grin underneath her mask.
Don't get cocky.
Lynn will tend to vote for like, it's probably best that you stay on the ship.
Are you saying that to Voto? Voto says, I am not going to separate myself from you. Wherever you go, I go. Don't worry. I actually can take care of myself as well. And she also she's not only like brandishing her handgun, but she's also, starting to input some things into her suit, tech-wise.
Okay.
Just stay out of the way and don't get hit.
Aya says, yes, don't bite off more than you can chew. If things get very dicey, I would recommend that you at least find cover, or if you can't find cover to hide, then run as far as you can back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, the location where you have been sent is, surprise, surprise, Alchera. That is where you are being sent. This is you are being briefed and told that this is a very top secret location. You are not to breathe these coordinates to anyone else. In fact, most of the higher ups don't even know that this place even exists. However, they are stressing, the person who's briefing this with you is stressing you the utmost importance of this particular project. Part of you is wondering, though, that this is just one of these important top secret projects that they just kind of send anyone who disobeyed orders or were actually discharged. It's the polite way of discharging them, is basically what you're thinking. And you could even decide for yourself whether or not Crystal Chen thinks this is more of a punishment than an honor. So, you also are brought to Alchera. And again, just to clarify, none of this stuff is necessarily happening in chronological order, but it's happening in relatively the same time. So, you get sent down into the hangar, similar to the way Darren and Trissy were sent. In fact, when you arrive with all of your belongings and your things, it is at this very moment that when you arrive that Darren and Trissy are finishing up their conversation that we just had a few moments ago. Charles looks up towards your direction as Crystal comes into the scene, and Trissy and Darren turns towards you as well. Charles approaches you and says, I believe you were the medic that
Yes.
the Alliance has sent?
That is correct.
And Charles, he says, and he holds out his hand to shake.
She holds out her hand to shake a hand. Chen, nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Chen. This is one of my good friends, Darren, and his sister, Trissy. Trissy
Right.
nods towards you. I'm sorry, did you say something, Alex?
I said, all right. Nice to meet you.
Crystal
Maybe
will
you'll
offer
offer
her
a
hand
hand as
if
well.
they take it.
Trissy says, so you're with the Alliance, is what I heard? Trissy asks.
Yes, formally.
Formally. She stops and sort of gives you a little bit of an understanding frown. I don't understand then. Why are you here?
That was my order. And I think this is the best place for me right now.
If you're
Go ahead.
if you're formally of the Alliance, I don't think you have to follow the orders anymore. Just putting it out there.
Perhaps.
He says, Miss Chen, I was given your resume from your superior, and it looks like you've got you're quite a skilled doctor, not just medic. Or at least you're aspiring to be, it looks like.
That is correct.
He's going through your papers again and says, we're trying to get your med bay set up. Tell me what kind of specific things do you need for your quarters and your med bay?